Luke 23:8, Luke 5:5, 10, 11, Luke 5:5, 10, 11 percent. Good afternoon, good evening. Sorry, good evening, good evening. Um, hey, just so you know, your guys' stuff, your what do you call it? Microphone is muted. So if we can, I'm gonna probably go give about 3 or 4 minutes, just allow just a couple of folks to get in. We won't wait too long because you were on time. You deserve to be treated as such. And so we're gonna go. I just, it always happens, whatever problems people have logging in, maybe they're trying to download the app or whatever, then it's just a little bit easier than trying to go over everything. So, but just to kind of lay a few ground rules, appreciate you showing up. If you have a burning question and like you need to get it out, I'm totally okay with answering your question. Just if you can, please answer it in the chat. If you got a question, about whatever, just please ask it in the chat, and then I'll see it and I'll be able to get to it. As soon as we get done, then I'm going to go over some questions, for pretty much whatever you want to ask, whether it be related to weddings, whether it's related to whatever, let's keep it catering. Obviously, other than related to catering, then that's what we'll do here at the end. So today, I've gone over weddings already once last week. And so what I'm going to do here is go into a little bit more depth into what we need to do to book weddings and in what has worked for us and any other caterer that I know who's done well in weddings and high-end events specifically. These are the things that we use and the things that we do constantly to make sure that we book. So just to give you a heads up, guys, I may get a little long-winded tonight because this can be the bulk of your wedding industry. This could be the bulk of your income if you treat it right. The cool thing about booking weddings is that once you become a friend of the family and you execute that wedding like the way you're supposed to, you will be in the family for the rest of eternity. I started in 2011. My first wedding was 2012. My first wedding was 2012. And I have people who call me back from 10 years, 13 years when I first started, 5 years, because we did their wedding, and now we're doing the daughter's wedding, and now we're doing the obviously the bachelor and bachelorette party, but all the things that come along, because the wedding industry, not necessarily the industry, but the weddings that you do are so personal to everybody involved that if you go and you kick ass, then you become also personal. Like you made their day, their time, their efforts all come because, you know, I think we all say this as different vendors. The DJs may say it, the wedding coordinators may say it, but they all offer services. Other than the venue, which isn't like an actual thing, we are really the only ones who offer something that is tangible, that like everybody's going to remember. So realize that the wedding coordinator has done a good job. Oftentimes, unfortunately, they go unseen because if you have a good event, then that means it all went well. Everything was organized, but we kind of don't see the coordinator and they don't get a lot of love. So unfortunately, the DJ can be cool or cannot be, but people always remember the caterer. Well, what kind of food did they have and how did it taste? How was the service? Was it sloppy? How did it look? And so this is the reason why we want to make sure, let me put on my phone, do not disturb, sorry. This is the reason why we want to make sure that we kill the game once we get here. All right, so here's what we're gonna do. 1 second. All right, so here's what we're gonna do. This may go a little bit long tonight, so as long as you guys getting value, please stay. If at any time you feel like you know that I suck and you need to go, still wait because there's some good things coming at the end. I do want to tell you though here that starting off, we definitely have the opportunity, and I appreciate you all being here. But I have a what's called a platform to where everything that I talk about and everything that you need to be able to kill this game that we call catering is located in what's called a school program. Now, this is my little commercial and I'm about to get off of it. The school program is $39 a month to month, as long as you decide you want to continue to keep getting value. But in there, I give my actual emails, I'm giving actual strategies, and I'm answering all of your questions at all times at night for whatever you have as you being a part of our community. And on top of that, we have other people within that community that can also help answer. It's just a community of caterers that come together to make sure that we all win. So hopefully if you hear and you hear what I'm saying and you like what I got going on here, then I ask you to take some time, look at the school community and consider joining. It's $39. If you hate it, I promise you there's $39 worth of info in there. I promise you that. But if you hate it, stay a month. If you really, really hate it, let me know and I'll cash out your $39 back. All right, that's it. I may bring that up again one more time. All right, so websites, what I'm going to do is I'm going to rehash a little bit than what I've already talked about because it's very important. And then we're going to go into detail in each step. All right, so again, if you have questions, I'm totally okay with answering them. Just please put it in the chat. Very first thing we want to do is that with weddings and high-end events, people care about what it looks like more than what it tastes like. People care about what it looks like more than what it tastes like. And then from there, we want to, the customer cares what it looks like more than what it tastes like. The customer also wants to make sure that you're organized and that you look like you are established in the game and that you know exactly what you're doing, because this whole thing is a show. When you get married, people can go down to the courthouse and just get married, but they put on a show for their friends. And so the reason why I'm telling you this here is because if you want to get more weddings, you have to look like you kick ass in weddings. And the way that you do that is that you have to have an established, familiar looking, easy to maneuver website. You got to have it, not just a landing page. You got to have a website to where, 1 second, I'm sorry. Sorry about that. You got to have a website that is established. You got to set up like you're the biggest and the best. When I first started back in 2011, my website didn't get up to like the end of 2012 or something because I was just barely started, had no idea what was going on. You put up a website and it looked great. I was cooking out of my kitchen, out of my house, not here, but at my house. But you couldn't tell that from the way my website was established. As you have that, if you already have a website, and we already know this, I'm not going to go too much on this end because we already done it, but make sure you have pictures of people eating your food. Make sure you have pictures of your events, because like I'm telling you, people, your customers care about what it looks like at their wedding, at their high-end event. Have pictures of the events, of what your setup looks like. Make sure you also include a detailed menu with pricing. Too many times people go off and they say, well, we want to have a custom menu, right? And so we don't have a way to, you are confusing your customers. You're confusing your customers. Your customer has so many things, which is your bride for the most part. Your bride has so many things that they have to organize, that trying to figure out your website, and trying to know exactly what to do is going to frustrate your guest. So what you need to make sure is that everything that you present to your bride from the very start is got to be itemized out with pictures attached. And you say, well, the way that I do it is this, and the way that I do it is that. And the way that, you know, we've done a couple weddings, and the weddings, that the way that we do it is we just have, ma'am, if you want to grow and get more weddings and book more brides, we have to show pictures of what your stuff looks like on your site. Not so much your social media. Social media is fine, but social media is your confirmation. You're not closing a lot of brides on your social media. You might close some, but they're going to your website to look. Your potential clients, you got that will help you build trust. Another thing that you guys want to make sure to do is invest $30 a month into a call center, because the presenting yourself professional, I don't care if you're cooking out of your kitchen, I don't care if you're cooking in somebody's backyard, you have to look like you got your stuff together. So a call center or a digital receptionist, a virtual receptionist, I use Reception HQ. I've been using them for 10 years. They're open 24 hours a day. They answer the phone on Christmas. They answer the phone at 1 o'clock at night. Ruby Receptionist is another one, but there's a ton of them. And they don't cost that much money. But it is detrimental. If you want to close more brides, get a virtual receptionist. That way, when your guests come in, it sounds like you got your stuff together. It sounds like, and it looks like. And so now you are already winning. Next thing, we talked about recapping a Google profile. You have to have it. You got to have a Google profile, and you need to have a ton of pictures on there. Put your profile up at 20 pictures at least of your food and your setup. Is just as important as your website, because what's the largest website search engine in the world? Google. That's how they're going to find you. Complete every section of everything available. Be precise. As your bride is searching you, if they call you, if your bride calls you and you get an inquiry, realize that they have done their homework on you. Please stop getting upset when people ask you for pricing, because that means that they have done their homework and you made the final cut. So be happy that people are calling you to be able to get there. I'll send the screen record. Yes, absolutely. I'll make sure we get the screen record. I'll send it to you for sure. And then I'll also send an updated version that is all written out. That'll also give you the notes from there. You got to get on wedding platforms. There's a lot of people that don't like them. There's some people that go and say, Wedding Wire, they're not, they suck, or they this, or they're that. But guess what? The brides don't know that. The brides don't know that some vendors don't like Wedding Wire. And so guess where they go? The Knot is the oldest wedding website, at least the oldest established wedding website out there. Brides have trust in the Knot. You got to be on there. You don't have to pay for the Knot membership, the KNOT. You don't have to pay for it. You just want to be on there. That way, when you get your wedding or your high-end event, that your bride can leave you a review. Wedding Wire and The Knot are important. The next one, establish a Facebook business page. If you don't have one, you are tripping. These right here are the top things that you need. A Facebook business page. Fill out everything. Take a moment, take a day, fill out all the things necessary, add your website, add your pricing, add your pictures of the stuff that you have set up on your website. Make sure you, add the pictures of the stuff that you have set up from your events on your Google profile page. Now, once you got your Google profile page, I've talked to some of you already. I need you to search, write this down. Wedding vendors in your city. Join those groups and then introduce yourself as, hi, my name is Ashley. Hi, my name is Cassandra, and I own a catering company. Nice to be a part of it. Because what will happen is there's so many wedding vendors that are on there who can refer you. And I know Facebook is for the younger crowd. I know Facebook is for the older crowd. Not a lot of brides are on Facebook. You're right. But guess who's on Facebook? The moms, the dads, the people cutting the check are on Facebook. And they go to Facebook because they're my age. They're 45, they're 47. Their 24-year-old daughter is getting married. And they've been had a Facebook account since 2009. And they are on Facebook. And that's what we know. That's what they know. And so they go to the wedding vendor page and they post, my daughter's getting married. Any suggestions? And then now they see you. That's also a place where other vendors can go. You need to join 3 to 5 groups. Actively participate in it. It doesn't take long. Go in there, check it out, post once every week, once every 2 weeks. You don't even have to post. You can go in there and look for opportunities. If you start getting slow, go through your Facebook vendor profile, Facebook vendor page, wedding page, scroll through. Oh, Jackie is looking for a Mexican caterer and her wedding is in 2 weeks because her caterer backed out. Help. Jackie, guess what? I'm available. It happens all of the time. If you want to get more weddings, do the extra things. See, guys, the best people in the industry, they're top guys in the industry, the top salespeople. I don't care what industry you're in, selling popcorn, if you're selling catering, realize that we're all salesmen as we are entrepreneurs. The top guys are not the ones who can sell the biggest package. The biggest package is easy. You all know you've had customers who had money. They're the easiest to work with. The top people are the ones who get the most small deals. Everybody can sell a big package for the most part. Maybe I can get a little bit more upsell out of you, but it's easy. Sometimes, I don't care who you are. When I first got started, Barbecue Daddy, I wear Q-Fire now, but I'm like, I am not doing hot dogs. That's not barbecue. But you know how much money hot dogs make? So get off of your horse sometimes. And it's okay. Maneuver your menu to where, get off your horse sometimes and maneuver your menu to where you can accommodate smaller events that you still make money on. You don't have to decorate it. It doesn't have to be all great. And I tell you what, when you can accommodate somebody's wedding who got to hire Flavors Catering, and they did it was easy peasy for you, but they got a chance to hire, man, the love and respect that you get from that bride is unmatched. So find a way to make a package for them. We don't leave the house for less than $10 a head. But what if it's for 700 people and all you got to do is bring a few trays of pulled pork? Don't say no to money. These are the extra things, guys, that is going to help boost your revenue that you said no to, or you wasn't available for, or you didn't accommodate for. You get an extra $3,000 a month just by doing something simple along those lines. That's how you boost your revenue. The next thing that people, this is probably was what helped me the most. Bridal shows. Don't check out now. Pay attention, because this is how you get money from bridal shows. First of all, you got to have a little bit of money to do it. You need to have a little bit of money to be able to invest into getting a nice size booth, at least 2 booths. You got to have a little bit of money to be able to afford food and servers. Adult servers, no kids. Adult servers who know exactly what to do and who know how to talk to people. Then once you get your guests, you get set up, and then you get your guests, your brides and your entourage to come through. You make sure to offer them a sample after you get their name and their first name and cell phone. Then we invite them out to a tasting. The bridal show is not the place to book events. Just to make sure we're clear, your booth needs to look immaculate at all times during service, because right now, this is what your booth looks like during someone's wedding. And the way that you're acting, the way that you're moving is the way that, the way that you're moving in that bridal show is the way that they're going to see you at their wedding. Now, what do we do to invite them to a tasting? Some of you may not have venues. Let's rewind a bit. Go to and search, Google search wedding venues near me. It doesn't even have to be wedding venues. Venues near me, event venues near me. Let's just only do that. Event venues near me. Because sometimes the wedding venues, they already have their folks. There are the hotels, there are these and that, right? Event venues near me, because they do a little bit of everything. A lot of times they do corporate stuff. Then you go to that event venue and you say, Mr. Event Venue person, my name is so-and-so. I have a catering company, and we're going to this bridal show. It's the largest one of the year. There will be 2,000 brides there. And then all these people are getting married, and we're handing out some amazing samples. We have a crazy booth that's going to get set up, and I'm going to come home with 300-400 hot leads of people who want to try my food and who are looking to get married. Now, I just need a place for all of these brides who are getting ready to get married to come and try my food. I would like to have them come to your venue. That way we can have an open house for you. You're now bringing guests and customers and potential business to this small venue. It may only fit 50 people, and it may not even be a venue big enough for a big giant wedding. But if somebody books, you win. Regardless if they book or not, you've now convinced the event venue person that you got customers coming in, and who's going to say no to, well, you're going to have 30 brides come in to my place and look around and all these people, absolutely. They will do it for free. And then Mr. Event Venue person, you don't have to do nothing but turn the lights on and we'll do everything else. If you have tables and chairs, we'll use them. Great. And then even still, once we get there, we'll even give you an opportunity to come and talk to the brides that I'll be bringing in to you for free, and then promote your venue. They will, if you have that conversation 5 times, 4 people are going to say yes. The best day to do that, Sunday nights, to be able to have your tasting. Now we got the way to tastings, we have the place to where you're going to give your tasting. Let's fast forward a bit to the bridal show. When you get to the bridal show, you have your immaculate booth set up, and you have nice chafing dishes. You got everything is clean. Your brides come through with their entourage. You're happy. Hey, Miss Bride, whatever your name is, when you're getting married in a year, great. I would love to send you an invitation to our full meal tasting. We have some samples for you right over there. Before they get to the samples, we have samples right over there. Please have a sample, but I would love to invite you to our full meal tasting that we'll have in 10 days. Would you mind if I send you an invite? Sure. Or we already have a caterer. Great. Well, who's doing your rehearsal dinner? You know what? We haven't thought about that yet. Okay, great. Well, I tell you what, at the very least, let me send you the invite. And then you send the invite, and then you go to eventbrite.com. You do that to everybody that comes through the line. Okay. You don't need to take time to try to sell your stuff there. This is the time to get hot leads. You go through now Eventbrite and you make an event, and then you post it on there and you sell the tickets. Do not do tastings for free. Sell your tickets to your bridal show. Sell your tickets to your tasting. 20 bucks a head, but you're going to offer them a $50 meal. Guess what? If you do your math right, a $50 meal for us typically only cost us really what, 12 bucks to do, maybe $15 to do, right? So you now making somewhat of a profit. You sell the tickets on Eventbrite, you hit everybody up, and then you don't just use email, guys, because they have an email set up for all the different weddings. Sometimes brides have emails set up just for wedding stuff, and it's Brad and Sarah's wedding 2025 at gmail.com. That's where all the junk goes. That's where all the vendors go. That's why at the bridal show, you get the name and the cell phone number. And then you go through and you text these people in a group text. That's how you're going to reach out to your bride. I know that was kind of a little bit of back and forth all over, so please stop me if you have any questions on how the flow works. I'm gonna repeat that in the next 30 seconds. We secure your venue. We secure your venue, and then after we secure the venue, we are now at the bridal show. We're at the bridal show. Your food is here, and then you also have your food is here, and then you have your people standing right here getting the names and cell phone numbers. You send the invite, you ask for the name and cell phone number, let them get a piece of your food. You send the invite through text message. They come to your tasting. Now they're at your tasting. Now they're at your venue. A couple days later, 3-4 days later, 10 days later, somewhat. This is now go time. Within your invitation, you let the people know that you attend this tasting, you'll get 10% off your entire meal. You attend this tasting, you get free something. And so now, the reason why you don't want to offer free stuff is because we don't want to have a bunch of people just coming for a bunch of free food. I made that mistake, don't do it. And the people who pay will have more of a pull to make sure that they get there. Okay? You made your money, you got there. Now you've had an opportunity to get folks in, and you present everything you got, and you set up your tasting just like a wedding. You bring some food out, you make it look great, you hire the best people that you can, no kids, and everybody is happy that these people come through. And then at the end of your presentation, I need you to run it just like a wedding reception. Then you say, Mr. and Mrs. Jones, you've got the email, you've got the opportunity to get 10% off. Tonight, we had that opportunity because we only have a few dates left by the end of the year. We only have a few dates left by next October. We're almost booked up from all the people that already pre-booked. I don't care if you have nothing on your calendar. You are almost booked all the time. And so tonight, we're offering you 10% off and a free side and a dessert or whatever it is to have you get in. And if you book tonight, and all you got to do, book tonight, pay $500 or something simple. Tonight is the night that you book. Now, here's where you need a CRM, which we'll get into. Here's where you need a processor to be able to take money. And now all the people that now are staying, they sit back, and you'll have, I guarantee you, and we can talk a little bit more about this bridal show stuff, because this is what's made me so much money over time, that some people get so nervous about it because all they do is they go to the bridal show, they hand out food, and they give out flyers, and they think they're supposed to get stuff done. There's a process to this thing. After the bridal show, after the tasting, you'll have 6 or 8 people waiting. Even if you only have 4, even if you only have 2, if their day charge is $500 or $800 or whatever it is, you made $1,600. Plus, you also made the money from the tickets that you sold. And now you have 20 other people from the bridal show who came and tasted your food, who will call you later. That's enough about bridal shows. Can you tell that I'm excited about that? Because that will make you money. Next, moving on. on your website, you need to have a menu that shows your pricing. The next level up, guys, is not to just have a menu to show your pricing. The next level deeper is you need to have a form site to where your customers can go online and select a menu and then fill out some information at the bottom to say, I would like to have this, this, and this. It literally gives you all the information you need to be able to send this bride a quote. But that's so impersonal, Terry. How do you do that? I don't know. You have the opportunity. They have the opportunity to call. They also have the opportunity to just fill out basic information. But now they have the opportunity to get a quote in a couple hours. Yeah. Real life. We probably catered since 2011, I don't know, over 1,000 some odd weddings. 25% of those people I've never, ever met. And probably 50% of that 25%, I've never even spoke to, because they went online, they saw my reviews, they've looked at my amazing website, right? Because that's our front. They called my call center maybe, and we checked up all the marks, and they put in the information to get a quote. We talked back and forth a little bit for the quote. They said, I'd like to move forward. I send them the link to pay. They pay. I send my staff out to do the wedding, and then everybody's great. And then I get a review online. Barbecue Daddy at Q Fire Catering did an amazing job. Like, who is this from? Or I'm out somewhere and they say, hey, Barbecue Daddy, you did our wedding. I'm like, okay, how do we do? When you want to get to the next level, these are the small things that you got to do to be able to get money. Get money, and that obviously it's not necessarily residual. You know, you're still doing the work, but you have a machine there ready and available for you to be able to collect information from the bride. They don't all have to figure it out. And I'm not saying that you only have a form site. I'm saying you also have a form site to be able to have brides for the people who like to call the bank and go through all the prompts without talking to people. Those are your people who will book you without talking to you. That's not me. I want to talk to somebody every time. That's just me. But those are the people you want to talk to. Form site is the site that I use. You can also have, let me back up. Form site is the site that I use. Typeform is another one. Jotform is another one. And then there's also one, if you on your website builder, a lot of times they have an opportunity for you to build stuff too. All right. Again, guys, I go deep and have all the information here. Go to the chat. Once we get done, take a moment to look at the school program, because every single thing I'm so passionate about as far as how to get money in this catering industry. I'm not going to tell you how to cater. You know how to cater. But if you want to know how to get more money, be a part of the school program. It's $39. It's worth it. All right. Your interactive menu, you got to have it. All right. Next thing, here's another thing, guys. Here's a pro tip. Obviously, it's all pro tips because I'm a pro. You want to get more weddings? Go to the people who see your bride before you do. Most of the time, the venue is the highest price ticket for your bride. Sometimes they get backyards or whatever it is, but most of the time the venue is the highest price. So because of that, the bride can't book a wedding without securing the venue. So almost all the time they have the venue booked first. The only other people, for the majority of the people who see your bride before you do, may be a wedding coordinator. So now that we know this to be fact 90% of the time, then the caterer comes next and everybody else. Now that we know this, go to Google, right? Go to Google and search wedding venues near me. Go to those wedding venues before you reach out. Go to their Instagram pages, go to their social media pages. I want you to follow. I want you to comment. I want you to like. I want you to say nice things about this venue. And then shut up. That's it. Don't introduce yourself. None of that. Once you like and you follow and you have 6 or 7 likes on a page, I don't care how many followers you got, you're going to see who is this fool over here liking 9 of my pictures? They're going to see, oh, this is a barbecue guy, an Italian guy. Oh, okay, good to know. Now you have now created a follower or a friend. Next thing you know, they're following you back. And then from there, once you've already established yourself a little bit, a week, 2 weeks, now you can reach out to them. They've seen your work. They've introduced you. They've introduced yourselves somewhat digitally. Do the same thing to wedding coordinators. Find wedding coordinators, Google them, go to their social media page, like their posts, and say some nice things on their posts. Now, by doing that, you are going to be able to introduce yourself and have somewhat familiarity with these people, with the pretty much the only people who see your bride before you do. It gives you a little bit more clout. It gives you a little bit more establishment. It gives you more validity. When Sarah goes to Venue on the Hills and they say, hey, we're looking at Barbecue Daddy. Oh yeah, I know Barbecue Daddy. I follow them on Instagram. They do great work. Wow. Guess what Sarah's thinking? Nice. Okay. The venue that I put all this work into searching, they also follow Barbecue Daddy. They also follow Q-Fire Catering. So do me a favor in the chat, if you can, please, hopefully you're listening, type in the name of your catering company. Type in the name of your catering company, please. If you're still here, type in the name of your catering company, put it in the chat. That is another way to get around, to be able to do the small things. And so now that you have an established somewhat relationship kind of with this bride, now that you have an established somewhat relationship with the venue, with your wedding coordinator, you can now reach out to them, especially if they follow you back, and be like, hey, I am, my name is so-and-so. And I want to, if you guys ever have an opportunity for, brides, we love to be able to help you out. Next thing, if you're reaching out to the caterer, if you're reaching out to the venue owner, hey, you guys do amazing work. You've already commented on your stuff 10 times, right? You guys do amazing work. What does it take to be a part of your preferred vendor list? If you can be a part of a venue's preferred vendor list and a bride finds you, also 80% of the time, she's going to say yes. There's obviously those other things that we got to have in place, the website, the reviews and all that stuff, But if you have all those things in place, your establishment, your real estate online looks legit. You got somebody else answering your phone. Now you have a team. You look bigger than what you are. And now you got representation from the venue or the wedding coordinator. Your chances of closing that bride that you've never talked to have increased by 60, 70%. These are the small things that I'm doing that other bigger caterers who are grossing $1 million, $2 million a year are doing, that we're not doing, that I wasn't doing however many years ago, that you're not doing. Well, how did they get? And then you wonder why. How did I lose the bid to so-and-so? How did I lose the bid to so-and-so? Well, because they did all of this stuff and they like these other people better because they've been established. I'm gonna take a second to look and make sure we got Holy Smokes Barbecue. Amazing. The catering comp, Coco AZ Flavors and Catering, Big Wheels Catering, Paradise Catering, Joseph Divine's Catering. I'm not Flannert's, hopefully I'm saying that right. Cuisine Events, Nevea Catering. Gotcha. Amazing, guys. Amazing, amazing, amazing. Thank you. All right. Diana Johnson's Catering. There we are. Make sure, if you haven't already, subscribe. I just like saying that. Ain't nothing to subscribe. All right. These are the small things that your competition is doing. That if you're an AZ, that Q-Fire Catering is doing, and you're wondering why we gross $1 million a year and that you're not. Not that we're so great, we're just doing the small things to be able to get there, guys. You know what? When you look at people who work out, right? Like, you can either go to the gym because you like going to the gym. Then you got the people who go to the gym and they work out on their own regimen, right? But then you have your professionals, you have your bodybuilders, you got your fitness people who are in the gym and they're doing the exercises that you have no idea on even what to do or what does that work. And you see them doing all this weird exercise. Like, what are you working on? What are you even working on? Well, I'm working on this muscle right here. Well, okay. That's why he's so, because he knows, they know those extra small muscles to work on. That's why his physique is amazing. As I pull my shirt down and try to tuck my belly in. So these are the things that we got to do. All right. Next, you got to have effective communication with your bride. What does that mean? What is having effective communication and then quick follow-ups? What does that mean? That means when your bride comes to your site or they come to you, however they come to you, you need to follow up with them first, immediately. If you want to get to the next level, guys, let's say you have a part-time job, if you can take a second to put together, even if you just reach out to them and you say, Ms. Bride, thank you for your quote. I'll get back to you within an hour. Say it. Don't leave that bride hanging, because guess what? Q Fire Catering ain't gonna leave them hanging. And we'll get back to them tomorrow. Catering company is gonna be too late because Diana Johnson's catering is going to follow up with them within an hour. And they're going to already have a conversation with them 2 or 3 times before you follow up within a day, in 2 days. Hey, yeah, this is Bill. This is from I saw a catering company. You reached out 3 days ago. You still interested in the catering? No, man. We booked with Diana Johnson a long time ago. So no, thank you. They probably haven't even booked with Diana Johnson yet, but they've been talking to him. Follow up immediately. Like as soon as possible. If you can't get that quote to them, follow up some kind of way. Here is the algorithm or the rule. If your customer calls you, call them back within 2 hours. If you're not able to get a hold of them, call them back within 2 hours. If you're not able to pick up the phone. If they email you, let me back up, I'm sorry. If they call you, call them back within 2 hours and send a text message. If they email you, you got a little bit of grace. You still need to follow up with them within 4 to 6 hours, because more than likely they're probably at work. They don't have time to talk. And so they're just looking for some kind of information. 4 to 6 hours if they email you, follow up within 4 to 6 hours with that bride. If they go to your website and they leave information, you have a little bit more grace with that, because people just know that, hey, it may take a day. You got a day. But if you really want to kick ass, follow up with everybody as soon as possible. If you want to do that, follow up with everybody as soon as possible with a greeting. Now, when you follow up, let's dive a little bit deeper. When you follow up, don't say, hey, Sarah, you're looking for a wedding. Thanks for calling, or thanks for whatever. This is Terry. I'm calling you back because you're looking to have a wedding. Yeah, I'm looking to have a wedding. Okay, great. Well, Miss Sarah, and they say, well, how many people, or how much does it cost for catering for 100 people? And then what do? You go right in to say, well, we have a couple different packages. And then this is how much it costs for that. Well, how much does it cost for this? It costs this much for that. And now we start getting to order taking. And you haven't built nothing. And then Sarah says, okay, well, can you send me a quote? Yes, sir, I'm gonna send you a quote right now. And you get on it and then you send a quote and we talked, and then you're like, man, I just got an inquiry from Sarah, the bride, and she has 100 people. And I'm sending her a quote right away. Barbecue Daddy, I did it. Nope. No, you did it, but you became a website. You became an AI, you became a bot, you became an order taker. Sarah's been planning this wedding for years in her mind. And you didn't take one moment to find out what her husband's name is or what her partner's name is, whatever. What's the name of the venue? Why did you select the venue? Who's your bridesmaid? How did you get engaged? Who was there at your engagement? Find out these things. This stuff is important to Sarah the bride. It takes a minute. If you're not sure how to sell or what sales questions you're supposed to ask, guess what? Just care. Just care. When you care about, if you got kids and they come home and they say, "Hey, Dad, I had a bad day." What do you say? How many people picked on you? Okay, we don't go into straight ask. We ask discovery questions. Tell me a little bit about dot 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 dot. Tell me a little bit about that. How did that make you feel? And then now we go in. Now, once we get, you're laughing, you found something in common. They're from Michigan. Boom. They're from Ohio. Trash. But we're still talking. We're having a conversation about something. We've made some kind of connection. And you didn't just, and now because you might wonder, why did I lose this bride? How come I keep losing this bride? Because, I sent the quote, it was low, and I still didn't get it. Because hold on, I don't want to just keep using Diana Johnson. Hold on, let me see who else is in there. Where are we at? Because holy smokes Catering, they went and had a conversation and they talked a little bit. They took an extra 4 minutes on the phone with Sarah. They took an extra 4 minutes on the phone with Sarah. They talked a little bit more about their wedding, and then they cared a bit more. And then on top of that, they were able to give that quote to them right away. Now now the bride is like, so-and-so catering company, they're cheaper. Yeah, sure. But you know what? I like holy smokes because I like them, because I feel more comfortable with them at my wedding. This doesn't work for corporate catering, by the way. So completely different cast for that. So we'll talk more later when we talk about corporate catering. But the wedding industry, man, you have to sell the dream. I was in a sales course class, and understand this. If you don't write this down or remember it, facts tell, stories sell. Facts. Oh, this is how much we cost. Da, 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 da. Our food is good. Da, 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 da. Stories. Tell me about that. Tell me about this. Oh, I got you getting married in October. Something happened in October, so did I. When is your such and such? My birthday is in this time. Find something to be. Now, this is a whole nother course that I can literally go in for some hours on, talking about the sales process of how to close every coordinator, every venue, every bride, every high-end caterer, every high-end event. The sales process never, ever, ever fails. All right, there's different ways to do it, but you got to build that confidence within yourself, within your bride. I'm just over here because I'm looking at my notes. Next thing you have to do, guys, is that make sure that you are not sending in some BS looking, cheap looking quotes. Give me 1 second. Don't send in a quote that looks like that just has green beans, mashed potatoes, da 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 da, name, price. Describe your green beans a little bit. Describe your mashed potatoes. Have your logo on it. Make sure it looks nice and easy to read. Break down everything and have a description next to every price. You better not just have service charge and don't describe the service charge, because, well, what is this for? Of course, we had all our stuff. I had a customer reach out to me like, we ordered this, and this, but what is this gratuity? We didn't order gratuity. All right, sir, you know what? I'm going to get off this phone now. Matter of fact, since you didn't order gratuity, we take it off. Sorry about that. I apologize since you didn't order gratuity. But gratuity is a thing that you can use as a bargaining tool to also be able to help you close a few more deals. but it just happens that way. Sometimes, we don't deal with people who are very familiar in this area. So make sure that you use some type of system, whether it's Cateries, whether it's Salesforce, whether it's whatever, to make sure that your quote looks amazing. Another thing here, guys, don't send, pay attention. Do not send the catering agreement with all your logistical stuff in as your quote. Don't send that first. The only thing, we don't want to give the bride the opportunity to go through and read all the fine print before she's made a big giant decision. Of course, we want that and she'll get it, but give me one thing at a time. Give your bride one thing at a time to look at and to make a decision on. If you heard me talk before, you also need to send 2 quotes. You go through, you talk to all this stuff about this bride, and then like you get done, you've had your opportunity, you talk to them, you know what they want, you might even know somewhat what they can afford or whatnot, I don't know, but you've come up with a quote that you think they're going to love. Now, come up with another quote that's just a little bit lower. And as you do that, now you've given your bride the opportunity to look at 2 different quotes from one company. All she sees, or all the husband sees, is, or whoever's paying for it, is my daughter has given me 4 quotes to look at. 2 of them are from ABC Catering Company. And then here's another 2 from some other random company. You now have a 50% chance, a little bit better. You're raising your stakes to be able to close that bride a little bit better. All right. Your percentages are higher. Your percentage is now a bit higher because you've taken the time to get to know Sarah, the bride. And you've given her 2 quotes. She didn't even ask for it. Now, what does this show? This shows that you care. This shows that you're paying attention to what she needs, what she's looking for. You've also now increased your percentages of closing that bride. Next. Hey guys, I know it's quiet in here, or actually it's so quiet on my side. If you can, give me a thumbs up if you're finding any of this information valuable. Please, let's just make sure nobody's over there asleep on me. Just give me a quick thumbs up. Make me feel good real quick, please. All right. Now we got, let's see, effective communication. I'm just going through I just went on to talk about don't send the catering agreement yet. Send the quote. Find a way to send the quote first. Not find a way, only send the quote. And your quote should only have in there what Sarah ordered and the pricing with it, with some description. And then you tell them within that quote, what you're going to do at the wedding. Like, hey, this is full service catering. This is what full service catering comes from. And then we're only describing it, only talking about what's going to happen at the wedding. Now, once she agrees to your pricing and agrees to your services, now you send the catering agreement. Have Sarah make one decision at a time. Don't shove all of this stuff down her face. She got too much to worry about because somebody else ain't going to do it. They're going to follow the steps. Cocoa AZ flavored catering. Y'all going to have it together. You're going to send that quote. And then that's it. Sarah's going to have an opportunity to look at these 2 quotes. She's going through everything else. It makes her life so much easier. And she's booking with you. Here's an opportunity to make money at the wedding. Now you have the wedding booked. We're going to go a little bit more and talk a little bit more about how to get more. But now that you have this wedding booked, let's talk about how we get more money in this wedding. Now realize, guys, I'm not just here trying to get money out of Sarah. I respect Sarah's wedding and everybody's wedding with the utmost respect. This is the first time, second time, whatever, that these people are getting married. And they put so much time, energy, and effort into this day that you need to be able to do the same thing. So understand that offering upsells helps everybody. And it also gives you an opportunity to make more money. Here's a couple ways that you can upsell. I don't care what you cook, there's a way for you to cook some of that on site. Find the apparatus of whatever it is, a grill, a warming station, or something, to be able to add the on-site cooking as an addition to the package. You don't always have to present it right away. You can always upsell later. Whatever you do, that if you can cook anything on site, add that as an option for your guests to add it to. Guess what? It's sometimes easier for you to do it on site. Next thing, find 3 or 4 find 3 or 4 party rental places around you. Talk to them. I'm a caterer. I'd like to, send people your way. Would you mind offering us a 10% discount when we do? Sure. Now you do that, and then you also talk to Sarah, the bride, and say, hey, by the way, if your venue doesn't provide the tables and chairs, we have tables and chairs. We got access to them. We don't have them. But order through me, and we can just have one bill. That way you don't have to worry about it, Sarah, the bride. Well, okay, well, can you give me some pricing for that? Sure. After you've gotten the quote secured. After, these are all upsells. After you've gotten the credit card information for the event, now we go back, even if it's the same day or the next day. Now we go back and we talk about the upsell, because you don't want to hit them over the head with a big giant price, because all they see is the price at the end of the day. You get the credit card for the event. You lock that in. Now we start talking about tables and chairs, and then guess what? You may take the payment for the tables and chairs, or you get the card information from them, and you pay party people, the party planners, whoever it is, the event people who do their thing, pay them their money. And then you charge Sarah an extra 10%. You just made 10% extra, you just made 20% extra for being the middle guy. That 20% adds up. Even if you do it a couple times a month and you make an extra $150 off of it, let's say you only make $100, all you did was make a call. More than likely, once you start getting into it and you start moving along, you're going to start doing it more and more. You just now you're making an extra $300 a month. What does that do for me? I don't know, pay a phone bill. Okay, $300 a month, sure, that's not that big of a deal for some folks, but who's going to say no to an extra $1,200 a year just for making a phone call? They're going to get tables and chairs anyway. They might as well get them through you. Next thing that we need to be able to do that make extra money is if you have design and you have an opportunity to make their wedding look amazing from your design, offer that extra. Like if they have an opportunity to pick up money from you, if they have an opportunity to get money, if your bride now has the opportunity to get food from you, great, here's just food. You want our service? Great, there's an additional cost for service. Next thing you got, hey, we have an upsell from all these extra things that we have, but check out this design. These are the pictures that you've seen online. Hey, does that cost extra? It is, but let me tell you about it. Blah, 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 blah. Your customers are going to be so happy with it. And then now you add that extra for your design. You already own this stuff. It's a service that you're offering. Every additional service that you do, you need to be compensated for it. Everything. We're not here to do anything for free. But the bride who's now put that money into you, into her own wedding, has now have a greater appreciation for when you do it. How many of you guys, if we can, own a pair of $100 sunglasses, at least $100 plus? Give me a thumbs up if you own a pair of $100 sunglasses or plus. Whatever your higher value is, even if however you perceive it, you're going to take more care of it. That's the same thing as your bride is going to do when she pays a bit more. Of course, she's going to expect a bit more, but that's money that they act like they don't have, that they have. Because they're getting married, maybe they don't have it in their bank account, but mom does, Uncle Joe does. Uncle Joe, I need this extra. I want this catering company hired to grill on site. They also have an action station, and they're going to do our tables and chairs. And on top of that, they're going to do the design. But if you don't ask these questions, you're missing out on thousands of dollars. If you don't have the opportunity to, if you don't give the bride the opportunity to buy these things from you, you miss out on thousands. Add a bartender to your services. Your food service, you know how to work it out. Rent a bar for $100, charge for it. Get a few things, and then you hire a bartender off of one of those apps. You know, like you know the apps that I'm talking about. Somebody help me out. The apps, they are called the InstaWork apps, or Winolo, or any one of those apps. Yeah, Bark. Offer them from any one of those apps where people come in and they just hire a bartender for the day. They can serve the bar. You pay them $35 an hour. You just sold a full bar package. And for the most part, first of all, the bartender that you hired for the day is a licensed bartender. So you're covered there. You just have taken the extra to upcharge for the beer and wine package. Because at your wedding, isn't there a bartender? Aren't they sitting on chairs? Are all these things are already happening? This is how you make an extra $1,000 per wedding. And because the bride is already spending it. The bride is already spending it, the money with somebody. And I'm about to wrap it up here, and then we're going to overview. Remember, guys, before you take off, all of this information and more for everything that you want to know in this catering industry and how to make extra money is within the school app. It is a platform that I don't own it. It's just a platform that is on there that you now have access to hours and hours and hours of valuable teaching on how you can now make a ton of money more with your catering company. Last but not least, when you've done all the things, right? When you've done all the things that we discussed and you're out there, realize that, guys, we can't go and conjure up events. We can't do it. Like, who are you going to force to get married? Who are you going to talk into having an event? You can't. You might be able to talk some people on a whim to go to a restaurant for sure. Excuse me. Don't you hate when you see people and they got that white stuff on the corner of their lip? And you be like, bro, just get the stuff off the lip, and that's all you can look at is the corner of the lip. If I ever have stuff corner of my lip, y'all tell me, please. Don't have me out here looking crazy. Now, where was that? I'm sorry. You go on and I forgot. Somebody help me out. I'm about to skip that until somebody helps me where I just left off that. All right. When you get your bride, when you finally have done all the things, when you've casted your reel out there into the world of, I am a caterer. We have a great looking website. I'm on Facebook. We're on Google. I have all the things ready to be able to accept, to be able to close a bride when she comes. You have to be like a spider. You have to be like a spider and build your web out there. That way, when your guests come close, you snatch them up because you got to them faster than everybody else, and you were nicer to them, and you were able to give them a little bit more. They liked you a little bit more. You didn't give them a big giant catering agreement that they had to look at. You gave them 2 quotes. You did all the things, right? Now that they've come here, don't overload these people with crazy long emails. You need to have conversations with your bride through your email like you're having a conversation with them in person. When you send your quote, don't send it with, hey, Sarah the bride, it was great talking to you today. Here's our amazing packages. Blah, 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 blah. And this is all the stuff that we do. Blah, blah, blah. And you just throw up all of this information for no reason. Don't do that. Send your quote and then say, thanks for the conversation. Say something cool about what you've now connected with them on. And then in that, here's the quote you requested, and then you end your emails with, where is this at? Here, let me make sure. If anybody that's currently in the school program, you make sure you end your stuff with asking them, does this meet what you need? Did I miss anything? And you end your email with that after maybe a short paragraph of briefly what you talked about, and here's what you are. Does this meet what you're looking for? Did I miss anything? On both of the quotes that you send them. Now, listen, if y'all go through and you do this stuff and you still don't book any extra brides, people just don't like you. I don't know what to tell you. They just don't like you. But if you do all of these things, there's not going to be a possibility to where your customer doesn't like you. Because we haven't even talked about how good your food is, right? No. But when you do all of these things, you help avoid the whole, well, can we try it first? Which is cool, yeah. But, you know, obviously, wouldn't you prefer to be able to book a bride without them having going and saying, well, we just want to see first, we want to try? No, because they want to know what you look like. What is it going to look like at my wedding, man? How are you going to organize? You obviously have a ton of reviews online. Your food is good. 96 people said so. 106 people said so. The last thing I haven't talked about, guys, is reviews. You have to have other people tell your guests that you are good. Let me say that again. You need to have a record of other people who have tried your food. Leave a review for other customers to see so they can know that you are good. People are going to trust strangers. Let me get one of these other catering companies in here. Where you guys at? What's your name? The Catering Cup. The Catering Cup did a great job. They have this and this. We hired Catering Cup, and they had this and this, and things were great. Listen, if you don't, regardless of how many reviews you got, I don't care how many reviews you have, guys, go and get more. Go and talk to 19 of your friends and tell them, listen, you've tried my food. Go to my Google account, my Facebook, go to my Wedding Wire, go to my Yelp, whatever, and go leave me a review. Say something nice, because that is how people shop. Realize you're an online service that people are buying from. You don't have a brick and mortar store. I mean, you might if you own a restaurant, but for the most part, you have a service that is offered online, and people are buying your services from online. And if you have enough reviews, and your establishment looks great, you are going to have a lot more brides book you without hesitation. You follow these other steps. There's a whole nother course that I'm going to be giving here specifically to my school students here on sales, on how, and literally the things that we need to close. Now, once we have the bride, you know, we've done all the things. We've trapped her in our web, and she's there. But we still haven't went over there and sucked the blood yet. We still haven't got the credit card yet. Or when you get those brides that are just kind of iffy, there's things and there's techniques and there's ways to help people make a decision on why they want to choose you. Once you've done all the tangible things, we now have to take time to work on the intangible things for the additional reasons on why they want to book with, let me grab another caterer's name out of here, on why they want to book with Big Will's Catering or Paradise Catering. Why else? Because check this out. Paradise Catering, there's other people doing all the things that I'm telling you to do. So what happens? What's going to be the difference? Why do we gross over $1 million a year selling barbecue and steaks in just weddings? And then the restaurant, the biggest barbecue restaurant in town only does $300,000. Why? Well, because we specify and we're specialists in catering. And then I present that to my bride. My sales teams present that to the bride. My receptionist presents that to the bride. And even though we might be a little bit more expensive at times, when your customer and your bride has trust, when they trust you, when they like you, when they've seen all the things and you checked all the boxes, they will purchase from you. Not every one of them, but then now we get to the point of what are the intangible things that I need to do to be able to start booking even more brides? That'll be a story for another day. Now, what I want to do here is take some questions. Before I take questions, hold on one more time. Before I take questions, I want to see in the chat, please, you guys, everything that you want to know on how to get more brides, on how to get more events, small events, corporate events, everything is literally already preached out for you. There's a whole curriculum, and there is an entire homework section for every single thing lined out. There's almost 15 hours of video, along with me going even deeper with you. You'll also be able to get a one-on-one with me once you sign up. All right, so that's enough of that. What I'd like you guys to do is I want to take questions. Thank you for sticking around this long. Hopefully you got some good information out of that. I am now here to take questions. We got 10 people in here, which is, I appreciate you guys. Go ahead, unmute your mic, say your question, and I'll dive right in. If anybody else want to stick around for the questions, I'm sure it can help you. So maybe take a second to listen to that. If not, and you want to go, you are dismissed. I appreciate you coming. Make sure you check us out with that school, on the school program, on the school platform. Thank you for showing up. But if you can, please stay also for the Q&A, because the Q&A starts now. So if you got a question, take a second. You can even, if you want to unmute your mic, you can. If not, you can just ask in the chat real quick and I got you. So somebody asked me something. And let's see.
Hi, good evening. This is Chef Ricardo from outside of Jamaica.
Jamaica, what's going on, brother? How you doing?
I'm blessed, my brother, giving thanks. Just want to say thanks for the opening ideas, for putting my brain back to work.
Yeah, nice.
Yes, yeah. Yes. You have shared some good nuggets that I have, but weren't putting them in full practice mode. So
right.
Now you have rekindled that mood to get cracking and get going. My question to you, Joe, is how do I get into the US market based on the fact that I'm a Jamaican caterer here in Jamaica, but how do I get into the US market?
Okay, so
any tips on that?
Are you wanting to travel into the US, or are you saying for people to come to you when they come to Jamaica?
In both area, I would say.
Okay, got you. I'm in Phoenix, Arizona, and Phoenix is so hot during the summertime that there's literally like hardly any catering. There's hardly any events that goes on. And so the only way to keep my staff on and keep the bills paid, we had to move. We had to expand. So we moved out into San Diego. So coming into the US market or going to a different state, all same thing, right? So what we did and what worked is a couple things. Actually, two things I did. I went to the San Diego market and set up at the San Diego Bridal Show. And we were there, and I didn't have a kitchen yet. I didn't have anything yet, but I needed to get some leads because we didn't have any traction online to be able to get a hold of any brides that were in the San Diego market. We had nothing. I was literally a nobody out there. But I went into the San Diego market, and then I went and participated in that San Diego bridal show. And within that bridal show, hey, we're local, we're around, we're here, we're available, and they liked it. And so now, because I figure if they like us here, they'll like us anywhere, right? So I went to that, and then I set up in the bridal show. I took some names, numbers, and did all the things that we talked about on how to book at the bridal show. Next, you also need to work with your and this goes for anybody who's looking to expand. You also need to work with your website manager on your SEO. If you know how to do it, do it. If not, you can chat GPT it, you can hire from Fiverr, but go into your website and update your SEO to now start marketing yourself in other cities. to that way you pop up when they say, whatever catering in Louisville or whatever city that you're trying to get into, because now you're now popping up in there. You also need to, if you don't know SEO, you're not sure how to do that just yet, you also need to, on your site, type in somewhere on your site, preferably on the first page, that catering in San Diego, California, because that is exactly what they're going to type in on Google. Catering in Austin, Texas, or wherever you want to be. These are little things to be able to now start getting some of that Google algorithm when people start searching you. You may be down, on the lower pages yet, but then that's what you need to do to be able to start moving up. That way, when your bride, now you just launched another reel out there. That way, when your bride goes to look at and they see whatever type of food that you offer, they can then see that, oh, this is, so-and-so's catering. It popped up on my feed, or it popped up here. Next thing you also want to be able to do is go to Facebook and Facebook or Instagram, and then promote or boost an ad or create an ad if you know how to do it, and then just market that in that whatever area that you're trying to get into, because it will allow you to market yourself in particular zip codes. Now, as I'm scrolling, I can now see so-and-so's catering company is here. Great. So those are just a few ways that you can now get your name out there. That way you can start getting the calls. See, the good thing about catering is that you don't have to travel until you get booked, right? And so once you get booked, now it's got to make sense. It may not make sense or in the beginning for all of it, but you got to get your name out there. But that is a way that we did that is now our San Diego market is not necessarily matched Phoenix market, but it has over Trump Phoenix market. There's Trump Phoenix market during the summertime. Like I'm out there almost every week doing, some kind of catering. We got a place out there, I have a full kitchen out there, and it literally came from doing those exact things that I just told you. So hopefully that answers your question.
Okay, thank you so very much. Much appreciated.
You got it. Next question, guys. What do we got? Anybody else? Somebody give me something. Even if it's hyper personal. Not hyper personal, but specifically towards your catering company. All right. All right. Here we go. All right, guys, I appreciate you coming in. Again, make sure that you go to the link, please, and come on into the school program. We got some of our students that'll be here next. Our next live is going to be, we're going to dive in. I got your question. I'm gonna get into it. We're going to dive in to the sales techniques of how to close, on what we need to do to close more. Like once we get there, the beauty of the sales process. All right. So question came here. Oh, where'd it go? Okay. How do a caterer convey a higher value? My customer finds catering too expensive. That's not your customer, brother. That's not your customer. If your customer is finding your catering too expensive, that's not your customer. There's ways also to keep that customer, right? To keep that customer and offer them a package that's costs less money, but then also offer a higher end package. That way you can also keep those customers, because we don't want to miss out on money, bottom line. And we also want to make sure we get compensated for what we do. I'm not saying take everything, but everything makes sense for the right price, right? And so if you're like, well, I don't want to do that, they're my lower end customers. Well, they got burgers and dogs and mashed potatoes. It didn't cost you much energy or effort to put together a burgers and dogs mashed potato meal. But you want to go higher in. The way that now the question is, how do I get more higher end customers? Because that's your customers, right? You don't need to convey your McDonald's customers to your steakhouse customers. They're not the same people. If we're buying steak from Outback, it's not the same as from Fleming's or from whatever high-end steakhouse you got. Outback is not too bad. But if we over here looking at the T-bone from Waffle House makes a lot of money. If you have an opportunity to be able to offer a bunch of Waffle House meals, that's fine. And that's okay for them. But for your higher end customers, if they are different people. But if you do the things that I was telling you to do all throughout this process here on how to make your website and how to get your catering company, and you need to start posting more higher end pictures, more pictures of you doing high end catering, more high end customers will follow. Hopefully that answers your question. All right. Any more questions? All right, guys. All right. If that's it, guys, if you can give me a thumbs up before you leave, and we appreciate you. I'll see you on the school platform. Oh, last thing. I'm sorry. Wait, don't leave. Please, before you go, type in your email address. I'd like to reach out to you individually if I can. Type in your email address in the chat. I meant to ask you to do this a long time ago. So before you go, just type in your email address. I'd love to be able to just connect with you personally, if possible. Type in your email address before you go. Outside of that, guys, have an amazing night. What is it, Thursday night? Do what we need to do to let's go get this money. All right. We'll see you on the next round when we start talking about the sales process and what it takes to have this sales process and close every deal. I don't care what you're selling. All right. Y'all have a good night. Put your email address in, and we'll see you in a week.